Parents and scholars and families. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that these have been helpful for you guys in terms of understanding what we've been up to here at TCCA as you've been continuing to go through the curriculum. Now, this past week, I just wanted to give a brief overview of what we've been covering, as well as some of the things to be mindful of as we move forward. In the mornings, what we've been going through with each one of your scholars has been how to compose different parts of an essay. So by the end of the year, honestly, by the end of this unit, they're going to be writing a 5-paragraph essay, compare and contrast, on the story of Helen of Troy that we went through in our ELA, but also the story of Joseph, which we went over in our Judaism curriculum during history. And the whole focus of this is how to compose a well-structured introduction paragraph, as well as better understand what are the components of good writing. How do you keep a reader entertained and interested in what you're saying, but also express what it is that you want to be able to say? So we've spent the greater part of this last week working on an introduction paragraph, and I must say I've been reading over some of the things that your scholars have already turned in, and they've been fantastic. So on Monday we're going to be picking that up again. We're going to be working through body paragraphs, and we're going through that for the next couple of days. So you should expect to see some homework coming home in terms of writing and composing and better understanding things. We're going to try to get as much of that done in class as we can, but we'll see. So after that, we have our history curriculum, and this past week we finished up our Christianity overview, and today actually we covered about 1,000 to 2,000 years of church history, how that played into different types of secular history in terms of church versus secular, and did a very brief overview in the major components of what happened in the early church, as well as how that progressed in terms of the Roman Catholic Church, the Protestant Reformation, and then the modern day church after the missions age. So hopefully your scholars found those lectures to be interesting, entertaining, and thought-provoking. I felt like we covered quite a bit of stuff, but this upcoming week we'll be finishing up this unit with a test next week. So expect to see your scholars coming home with a study guide. I already gave that to them on this Monday, so they've had it already in case they wanted to get ahead, but in case that they haven't, we're going to be working on that next week and get preparing for that. After that, we have our math curriculum we've gone through, and this entire week we've just been covering dividing fractions, and it seems as though for the most part we're understanding that. We took a quiz today, and as always your scholars are able to do corrections on any quiz that I assign. They just have to write the number, the question, or the sentence of what it was that they were supposed to be doing, and then give me all of the math and write it out and give me the right answer. So then I'll knock them up a certain amount of points from what their original score was, and that's all detailed on what I sent out earlier in my quiz corrections form. So hopefully that can be a benefit to you and to your scholars. Additionally, after that, in ELA, we've been going over prepositional phrases all week, and you've probably seen some of the homework that your scholars have come home with, or you've at least seen the well-ordered language books. We've done quite a bit of sentence diagramming. So I understand if you're looking at this saying this doesn't make any sense. That's okay. We've really been working hard at that. Your scholars should have, I think some of us finished in class, but a lot of us still had a couple of sentences left to diagram over the weekend out of what we were working through today. So ask them about it, ask how that's been going, ask what they've been understanding. I think you'll be impressed by how much your scholars are picking up on different parts of speech, as well as how to organize those in terms of breaking down a sentence and understanding it better. I've seen my scholars go leaps and bounds in the past month from where we were to where we are now. It's been really, really exciting to see that as well. After we have our ELA, we have our science curriculum. Sorry, and in our science curriculum, we've been covering the different forms of energy that we have, and we've been understanding the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy, how that fits into things such as mechanical energy, thermal energy, electrical energy, all of the different types. And we've been talking about what does that mean? What does that mean for discovery? How does that relate to what we understand about the world around us? And we've had some really good conversations, so I'm sure that if you ask your scholar about it, they'd be able to tell you what we've been talking about there. I think I already mentioned the history test that's coming up. Additionally, next week, your scholars are going to have an ELA test covering prepositional phrases and personal pronouns. So next week, we're covering personal pronouns, but they'll have a study guide for that as well that I'll prepare. Overall, we've been doing great. We've been going through quite a bit of curriculum, and your scholars are really picking up on the pace. I've been very encouraged to see that. So tell them good job for me, and that we're going to be continuing to do great work. For all of my scholars watching, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, that you finish up your homework, and I'll see you on Monday.